Effective Communication and Career Planning by Mushtaq. The purpose of interviews is to let other supporters know how they are getting on in their career. The sport performers are interviewed for a lot of different occasions, for example, pre-match interviews and post-match interviews. Other purpose of interviews with athletes is to clear any controversial incidents in game or in personal life. There are different types of interviews such as radios, newspapers, television, social media. Sports performers are tasked to do different interviews on radio, for example, radio interviews such as BBC One Radio. Other known social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. When getting interviewed, players have to wear formal clothing or clothing that represents the club they are at. Players have to use good vocabulary and not use slang when being in an interview. Sports performers are involved in different types of interviews such as radio interviews. They may also do interviews with their sponsors such as Adidas, Nike and Under Armour. Athletes must stay positive and professional at all times, even if they are tired and cannot be bothered to be there. The sports performers need good verbal communication when they are being interviewed. They need to be able to answer open and closed questions and be able to speak in an approachable tone. In interviews, the sports performers need to show good eye contact with the person interviewing them. The sports performer has to act like they want to be interviewed and they want to be there in their presence. There would be questions that may be challenging to answer, but they have to keep their cool and answer the question being given. If they plan out what they are going to say, they wouldn't make a fool out of themselves and they would know exactly what to say so the interview can run smoothly. Important things to keep in mind while being interviewed is do not mumble, give a clear message and do not panic and be confident in what you're saying. It is important to plan interviews for sports performers so they can know what to say. It can also prevent from them stumbling in their own words and mumbling. Sport performers plan out their career and create backup plans just in case for any injuries that happen to them in the future. They would have something to fall back on, such as business investments and etc. Injuries could come at any time, so it's very important for the athletes to create backup plans. They would also need to have backup plans for their retirement, which they could help themselves live a lavish lifestyle which they want. Goal setting and SWOT. Analysis and helping processes. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Athletes has to find out their strength in their sport. For example, they have to have good knowledge of the sport they take in part, be able to perform well in their chosen sport. Weaknesses: lack of effort, lack of motivation, poor technique, not knowledge of the sport, not confident in their ability. Opportunities: gaining good level of coaching, being able to coach, gaining top level experience and to be able to use in the future. Threats: competition where the other people that take your position, making sure you stay healthy and maintain good fitness levels. Goal settings are used for athletes and they help them achieve their optimal performance. The process helps athletes to understand what level they are at and what level they want to go. SWOT analysis for a selected athlete and sport. Footballer and players on the wings. Every player needs to set goals in order to make themselves a better player. They have to set short, medium and long-term goals for an athlete, and he needs to stick to get them targets so he can improve as a player. I have suggested his strengths and weaknesses. In order to improve his weaknesses and get advice on different techniques. His strengths are passing, dribbling, movement, threats. His weaknesses are awareness in his position, defensive work, in the first opportunity be at risk. This should also mean attend extra training sessions in order to improve his weakness and get advice on different techniques he can add to his game. Threats: if he plays poor in his position, then in the first team could be at risk. This should also mean that he wouldn't get enough playing time. Strategies to improve his weakness and threats. One way Donnell could improve on his weakness is that he should watch videos on ways to improve his weaknesses. Another one of his weaknesses is that he may need to work on his defensive work so he can improve as a player and not give away any goals. Donnell could use different platforms to improve his weakness. He could use YouTube, and he could also use other websites, which include PremierLeague.com. A career plan for Donnell. Donnell and I have both discussed his future plans. He told me that he's looking to improve his fitness already, first of all, and then he's trying to get back into the side. He also said he wants to set small targets first, which would help him achieve the bigger goal he has. As a backup plan, he said he wants to go into physiotherapy and he can work with professional players, and which could also help maintain his fitness. He can also go into management or sport.